to adjust his pretty occasion.
What about slaves? What? Oh, advanced difficulty. Overheat. Subtitles on. Oh. Finger guns.
Well, that's a very blunt.
Broadcaster difficulty.
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
No signal. That's loud. Do not for broadcast. So dramatic. Why am I not on the TV though? I mean, couch.
So they're just like a regular Taco Bell taco. And then I make sure that I can put what do you want, 30? Like the Jack in the Box?
I like the music. Oh, who are you? Answer the call. Alright.
David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate. Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so...
Holy. Look how far away this fan is.
Don't worry, it's not hard, and I'm going to stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again.
I might be able to fix it today. You want me to call Nana and ask?
You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the
Del Taco's having a special right now. They're on their tacos. They're just like Taco Bell tacos, but their meat is actually better.
I think they're much better.
When you get the signal, select screen one with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Taco meat, lettuce, and cheese.
Oh shit.
Del Taco. No Taco Bell.
No. We could get... There's 60 cents a piece, and 30 of them would be $18.
Okay, we're all good. Next is going to be to throw the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Andy's totally independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hansby wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Meghan will be chatting with sugar star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, they'll be going live to advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic...
Right, button 2 in 3, 2, 1. Lovely, mate. to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes.
Okay, once it shrinks down and vanishes.
Here it comes. Switch to screen 1. Lovely, mate.
But first, the votes are in, and it's a decisive win for Advance.
We often get a bit of interference around this time, mate. Keep your eye on that machine at the bottom right and use the slider that's flashing there to move the wave up and down, keeping the green bit and the white bit.
But critics have accused it of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However, former Home Secretary...
Right, it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now, the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right.
Oh, here.
You only play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
The co-leader's acceptance speech.
And 3, 2, 1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody. Jeremy, I need you to fill after the ad.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late.
Oh, I thought I'd ask him about the election. Personally, I wouldn't try to confuse him with any big words.
That's the same policy we used.
What is this? Wait, what's this ad?
Hey, Cushions, you've got a great sofa. We've got a great sofa. In grey, a brown, a pink, a yellow, a purple. Neils, unreal.
Wicked. Made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multi-cam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long. 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules
Hello.
and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those.
Wait, is my mic muted?
What's that weird?
No, I'm not.
Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio. Thank you so much. 10 seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Alexa.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later, we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first
Get
up,
ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
is here the star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right, go to Blunderclatch on screen 3 when she says his name.
by none other than Lawrence Blundercatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is a long...
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say having you here with us is among ours.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
Latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The medicated? Yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the RAF, that's Peter Jensen, the director.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction. Lovely. Now back to Thunder Twat.
I've worked with him on several movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is
Get
fantastic.
back to who's talking.
Am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure
I did wrong.
from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that was the
Been on that show a bit long.
one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all. A love, of course, for freedom.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Grossed over $1 billion. but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
Oh, that is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid.
You're afraid?
And I will bleed.
Remember the 10-second rule.
That's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, giving, suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire, the little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, that one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Oh, don't worry, he won't do it again. Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
At the break? Oh.
Right, they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
Looks like Blunderclash is losing it in the studio, but we ain't got time for that. There's more interference coming. It's a bit trickier this time, mate. Use that little flashing joystick to the left of the slider, and as the frequency changes, match it to the right bit by gently pushing the stick to the right. Get the speed right.
You think I don't know that?
Now we're going to squash the frequency back by dragging left.
Silence, we mustn't. Think of Carol.
That's Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
What?
For now. Next, we're going to change the amplitude. Same as last time, but this time, move.
That was like 5 years ago.
Upwards, mate, upwards.
Told me, but I didn't listen. I'm drowning, man.
Now it's like 20-for-5.
Right, now let's match it back by going downwards.
The virus. The sterility. This formula. This formula. This is the key. Yes.
Frankly, mate, you're lucky to still be on the air. Maybe get some practice in.
Whoa.
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
4, 5, 2, 1.
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you probably noticed, the broadcast screen here is about 2 seconds behind the master screen here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the censor button for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to play, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you've got to do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now. As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, Count 1, 2, and hold it down.
Freeze. That's right. Absolutely.
Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live, that's too late. You can use the visual mixing buttons on the left to select the screen you want.
Seriously?
Pad work. 4, 3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to Advance Headquarters, where the two leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Oh shit, it's
Shall I
pissed.
start?
Get ready to
Go
play.
for it, Pat.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start? What a day.
They said we couldn't do it, and we did. They used every dirty, low-down, lying, southern bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people, you saw right through their shack.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebratory pints. It makes me coarser than the Grown-is funny.
Memorably put. But to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things. But today is day one of a new
Mix it up a bit, eh?
a better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their busted checkbook.
Again,
Tora.
but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know this sort of problem. You rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not
What?
welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country.
That
No
would
more
shoot
hiding
you.
wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So, all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. And earlier today, we revoked your passport. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But first, you're going to pay up. You're going to pay it back.
Pay it back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours.
Why are they just sitting there staring?
Ferret shite. So to you posh twats.
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs. The people whose children you raise.
So they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again. Just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Well, interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance. And our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
Right, looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all the help, mate. I've got to go. Ferry's about to leave. Probably won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
Boring politics then.
This is some weird fever dream, and I'm dying now.
You should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
You're not coming for a drink?
No, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
Yay! We won that broadcast.
Program's finished. You'll get a broadcast report. It's 3 pages. This first page shows you how well the broadcast went, each sequence, and an overall grade. Remember, grades mean bonuses, and they keep the boss happy. If you want to know more about how it went, select more info. If not, select continue to move to the next page. Right, this is an optional
E.
section when you really want to understand what happened during the show. You've got a graph there showing you what the audience did. They're a fickle fucking bunch. And of course, you can really drill into the details if you want to get better at making TV. I never came here, never once. Right, this is the important page. It tells you how much you're going to
Broadcast 4.
you have overall. That bollocks at the bottom shows you the financial
Broadcast 4.
but you don't have any fucking shares. You're clean.
Dad, look at my current wealth.
Oh, the deluxe one isn't bad. The fish sandwich is bad.
Hey, look at my current wealth. Broke ass poor.
This is the last page and it tells you the state of the world. Tells you how well the government's doing. And down the bottom there, this one's important. Tells you what Channel 1 currently thinks of you. In other words, what the boss thinks. Alright, mate. Welcome to the archive. This is where you can have a quick look back at what you've done and how it looked to the public. There's 3 sections. Broadcast, rushes and adverts. Let's start with broadcast. Pop in there now.
I don't want to pop into my broadcast.
That's all the broadcasts that you've done. Choose any one of them and select load tape. Once it's finished loading, you can use the rewind and the fast forward at the bottom there to help you get to the bit you want to see.
Well, in a few moments, we'll be going live to tonight's national nightly news. But before that,
It's Alvin and the Chipmunks. Wow, that seems. Oh. Is this based off of what I did? Or is it?
Mr. Meajer. After the break, Megan Wolf will be speaking to a man whose grave certainly answer the international heartthrob and inexplicable box office sensation that is Lawrence Blunderclatch. And later in the program, we'll be going live to Advance HQ to hear the co-leader's acceptance speech.
That is the advertisement I played. They gave you like 6 advertisements you could play.
You want it, we've got it, you want it, you pay us. You want it, we've got it, you want it. You want it, we've got it, you pay us.
Okay.
Megan Wolf is here as the star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, cult.
Right, now let's take a look at the rushes.
Rushes? I don't even...
This is the rushes room. It's pretty simple. The 4 screens you can see, they're going to show you the 4 signals you got from the studio during the actual broadcast.
Apparently, he's been
Difference is you
drinking
can
since lunchtime.
Quite the online
so you
version
can
of
have a listen to
advertising.
the stuff you're not allowed to show. Select the broadcast and give it a go. When you're done listening to the backstage sequence.
Alvin and the Chipmunks and adverts. Here's all the adverts we had the ability to play as. I did. This. I don't know which one I played. Is it this one? I did play that one. I just clicked random buttons. I don't know which ones I played. Why am I in a room that has no door? Day 3. Broke ass poor. An unexpected form. You arrive home to find posts on the mat. Most being nothing, the team wants to know you. Curiosity gets the better of you, and you open it. It is a form from the new advanced government asking for information on all citizens. The first page is filled in array. Your name, Alex Winston. Your spouse, Samuel Winston. Your children, Charles Winston and Susie Winston, age 19. Oh, wow. And now we're on to day 6, a family matter.
And then somebody says if you get a good telescope, you can see it clearly. And then the other person says then get a scope. And the person says it doesn't matter. Everybody's saying by a telescope you can see it. But I like this person's comment. But we can't get a clear picture of a suspect in robbery from 12 feet away. LOL.
Or Bigfoot.
That's what this. Oh my god, babe. The next comment.
It's true.
Did I just give my son oh, now we're actually into the game now. I do now.
I told you to be
They're older than me. Dave was here. Here. Oh, shoot. My decisions today have consequences?
And the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These two buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them. And they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine. And you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully. And we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon. 10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5, 4, 3.
It's time to go over to Jeremy Donaldson for tonight.
Open world VRs?
I'm Jeremy.
Yeah. Just not
Tonight.
the most stable currently.
At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future may hold with a leading ecologist in radical free thinking. With the Askerson Wealth Act on the brink of raising living standards for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guests if we're on the way to a new future. If we're on the way out with the old, Remington Fisk have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated with the highest honors, immediately being asked back.
That's what it says.
The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snuggleheart. Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash, intrepid scientist Dr. David Wall and marine biologist Ingrid Svalsborg-Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's Taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable.
I like how the image choice, we had them fighting each other or the one together.
The imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions.
I don't know who any of these people are, probably.
In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together."
Lady.
Like we always have. Playing
On my calendar.
Rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hansleaves is not leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. Johnny is seen here with socialite and performance artiste Tiffany Lamore, whose recent show, Snatched Inside My Snatch, has kept her firmly in the public eye. Could romance...
That sounds so wrong.
And he's misfortunately charmed. With advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be?
That was... That's gay. I should have censored that.
With more and more
But they don't allow me to censor it.
less and less oversight.
It's a British-based game. Are we surprised they have some...
A mega move for the group of young actors who are already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking
I have no idea.
later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Well, yeah, I have my channel set to that there is going to be inappropriate stuff here and there, because I have no control over it. Vibrations. Yeah, that was interesting.
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
Okay.
Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd, ignorant, sterile, and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word.
Orgy?
The overlords
What?
have an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book.
Is that guy okay?
Shamelessly self-promoting? Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't
And
what's
this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, who'll be laughing then?
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy...
Oh, jeez. Bollocks is a swear word?
Maybe they've rebranded, but it's a little...
Cat.
Oh, I thought you were making fun of me.
Oh my gosh.
Was he in your... Did he crawl under your blanket?
Circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation.
Is this guy okay?
Happily into eternal bondage. They're
Oh,
like psychic
jeez.
pedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
I was not expecting this.
The Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research in the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book,
Nope.
Frankenscience and opiates.
You don't get to...
Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue.
You're advertising your book like 4 times now.
They're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure...
How much do they pay these actors?
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding.
Like, look at them.
We've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
Oh, of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
2 very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
Consequences? Oh, because I'm playing the snuggle.
You know, I think they might do
Ad.
some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
Kids, you love them, we love them, and they just love Mr. Snuggle. Yeah! With his state-of-the-art human-like voice to keep them company when you can't. And his
That sounds creepy.
real action.
Wait, what about children not dying? Please, shut up. I want to know what they said. They said something about children dying.
Oh, Mr. Snugglehunt, you're so silly.
That is...
Hugs in stores now, selling out fast.
In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling the Solutions Team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem. We need more support from ministers. What are you doing? Well, we need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Not a good time.
Oh, that's the worst timing. I'm really bad at this. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my gosh, I just lost horribly. I'll wake him up at 4 in the morning. So.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. I'll make...
Interfere. Snuggle fucked. Hot.
Headlines tonight.
Oh shoot, my controller's about to die. I should probably just end it.